This week's video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build your perfect website. So, welcome back to another video. So today we're on the hunt for some minimalist landscape photos, and I've gone pretty minimal with my gear as well. Just one camera body, standard zoom lens, and my telephoto lens, some filters and a tripod. But more importantly, an open mind. So, whilst we're looking for some landscape photos today, we'll be sharing a few musings on minimalistic photographs and, importantly, how to find them. When we think of minimalist landscape photography, the first thing that often comes to mind is long exposure black and white images. Those striking graphic compositions with smooth water, soft clouds and clean open spaces. And while those are a beautiful expression of minimalism, there's so much more to the concept than just that shooting style. I think minimalism in landscape photography isn't just about removing distractions. It's about simplifying the scene to its most essential elements. It's about finding balance and a sense of calm within the composition. It could be a quiet shoreline with just a few gentle ripples, or the soft glow of light on an isolated mountain peak. I believe minimalism is about stripping away the unnecessary, focusing on what truly matters in the frame, and allowing the viewer's eye to rest. So with all that being said, I think I might have actually found a nice little spot here that would suit a long exposure black and white type of image. So yeah, I'm going to experiment a little bit here, see if it'll work in colour, see if it'll work in black and white, and yeah, see what we can come up with. There's a couple of little islands here and a bit of a rocky shoreline. Looks really nice, moody, overcast skies. Yeah, let's see what we can come up with. It's definitely a bit tricky on these rocks. Right, let's get the tripod out. So I've put the 10-stop filter and the 3-stop filter on the front of the lens there, and that's stopping enough light to allow me to get a 2-minute exposure at f9. So yeah, ideal I think for these conditions. That's smoothing that water out, taking a little bit of detail away from the cloud as well, and really helping to get that minimalist vibe that I'm going for, looking straight towards these little islands there. Really nice. I think it's a very simple frame. I've gone for a 16:9 crop I think at the minute on this one. Could work well either as a black and white or a colour, because the colour of this water here is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, put it up and we'll talk some more. With landscape photography, it can be easy to get drawn into the big sweeping views, can't it? But I've found that often the most interesting shots come from looking a little bit closer. I'm constantly reminding myself that instead of trying to capture everything at once, I should remember to focus on smaller, isolated elements. I think one of the key things is to slow down and to look around, because some of the best compositions aren't that obvious right away. They reveal themselves when you really stop and observe things. It's not always about what's in front of you, it's about how you see it, I guess. So take a step back, or maybe a step closer, and you might be surprised by what you find. Some amazing patterns in these rocks here, lots of curvy strata, which is absolutely fantastic, lots of folds. It looks fantastic, it really does. And in these rock structures here, we get a lot of gold tones as well, which is quite nice. And every now and again, we get some light on the cliff face at the back there, which just helps to add depth to the image. Now, I've played around with a few different compositions here in terms of focal length, and I've settled on 55mm, which just really focuses in on the two cliff faces there. And today it's quite misty out in the sea. There's only a very faint line of the horizon, so I think that really helps that minimalistic feel that I'm going for with this shot. And it's just about getting the light in the right place. I just want that rear cliff face to be illuminated, so we've got that dark to light transition which adds depth in the image. Very minimalist, very simple, exactly what I'm looking for today. So yeah, f8 1/60th per second, 55mm on the standard zoom lens. 2-second timer. Let's go ahead and take this shot. Just a little ripple on the water, so yeah, very minimalist indeed. Absolutely lovely. as mentioned, I've not bought the wide angle lens with me today. I've left it at home. And I think that's one of the things with minimalist photography. It's very, very difficult with a wide angle lens, isn't it? So yeah, left it at home, so I'm not tempted to use it. And thoroughly enjoying myself so far. Spring flowers are just starting to bloom as well, which is always nice to see. And the views from up here are absolutely amazing. They really are. I think we're in for a treat today. I really do. Absolutely beautiful. So I just thought I'd mention while we're walking that I've put together a brand new gallery on my website. It's a collection of all of my favourite black and white images from across the last 5 or 6 years, which has been something I've been meaning to do for some time. Now I did this with the help of Squarespace, who are today's sponsor. Having a Squarespace website is perfect if you're looking to share your work, create a blog, or even sell your own photos. And creating a gallery is so quick and simple to do. You just simply drag in your photos, rearrange them, and you're ready to share your work on the web within just a few clicks. The good thing is you don't need any experience with web design to build your own site, because Squarespace offers an AI-enhanced website builder, which will help you create a fully customized website in minutes. So to set up your very own website, go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Ian Worth to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Isn't this place just lovely? But I need to find somewhere to take another photo, and there's some lovely pools of light I've just noticed hitting the water down the coast. So I'm going to go and check that out. I think I might just walk a little bit over this headland and see what presents itself. Oh, some lovely rays of light coming down. So while I'm looking for another photograph, here's another musing about finding minimalist shots. One of the simplest ways to create a minimalist photograph is to find a lone subject, something that stands out on its own. Now this could be a single tree in an open field, a rock emerging from some water, or even a distant figure set within a grand vista. But I think a key consideration is to frame your subject in a way that removes distractions. Look for clean backgrounds, open spaces, and simple compositions that let the subject breathe. Paying attention to negative space definitely helps create balance and gives your images a sense of calm and focus. Lighting and weather can also play a big role too. Fog and snow, or even an overcast sky like we've got today, can naturally simplify a scene, making it easier to highlight that single element. So one thing I've noticed in this area is the gorse is all pretty much dead, which is quite strange. In most coastal areas around the county, it's in full bloom right now. So yeah, just little patches like here. There's a few flowers here, but most of it, as you can see, is just all dead. Very strange indeed. Not sure why that's happened. And this area here is particularly interesting. So I found a little gorge that runs through here with a series of waterfalls, which I'm definitely going to explore. It looks really cool if I can get down to it. I've got to be really careful though, because I don't want to get stuck in here. But if I can get down there, I think it's just about doable. So I'm going to walk up this gully and see if we can get a shot of this little waterfall, but I have to be a bit mindful of the tide, because if the tide comes in over this slab, I'm not going to be able to get back out again. So I don't want to spend too long down here. So it might be a quick one. Hopefully it's not too slippy. Ah, this looks amazing. Mind how you go, Worth. Mind how you go. Some of the places that we go to, hey? So I'm literally perched on this ledge here, which is not ideal. It's very, very difficult to get a composition on it. So I'm shooting it handheld at about 1/3 of a second, just focusing on this little waterfall just down here. And it's difficult to tell from looking through the viewfinder. Everything's quite dark, so these rocks are very, very dark, and I'm having to expose for the brightest parts, which are the water flowing over. But yeah, it's quite a minimalist, intimate looking shot. Hopefully it's okay. Very difficult to tell. I need to get off this ledge anyway. So can't dwell too long in here. I've got to get out of this gully. Quite foreboding actually. Sea caves. Never know what's down there, do you? But anyway, I need to get out of here because this tide is coming in. Let's navigate these slippy rocks. Well, that was interesting. Even if those shots weren't any good, it was still fun giving it a go. So a telephoto lens like this lets you zoom in on the landscape and isolate certain elements, and it's a great tool for minimalist photography. I think in a vast landscape it's easy to feel overwhelmed by everything in view, but with a telephoto lens you can isolate small, interesting parts of the scene. By narrowing your field of view, you can create stronger compositions with clean, intentional framing. It's a simple way to turn a massive landscape into a series of compelling, focused images. So the telephoto lens is on, the camera is on the tripod, and we are in a nice position to be able to pick out different details within the landscape. Now, what I tend to do for this type of photography, instead of trying to pick out details with my own eyes, because you're kind of looking at everything, it can be quite of a challenge, what I tend to do is just zoom in with the lens and then pan around and try to pick out specific scenes within the landscape just by looking at the LCD on the back of my camera. And that's a great way of just picking out little details. And I'm really focusing on patterns and abstract images here, something very minimal, something very intimate. I think one of the things with this type of photography is you can position yourself in one location and maybe shoot 10 or 15 different images from the same spot. So I guess you could call it lazy photography, but yeah, we deserve a bit of laziness, don't we, now and again? It's always good to do a bit of relaxing when you're out with the camera as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying this, and hopefully we can find a couple of images here. There's some wonderful mineral flows coming out of these rocks. So yeah, I'll put the images up and we'll chat some more. So the cliffs over my left shoulder there are absolutely fantastic. The geology is out of this world, really incredible. However, I've been struggling to make a composition looking back that way, mainly because of the atmospheric conditions. It's quite hazy back there, and the lack of light. Right now it is super gloomy. There's a couple of little patches of blue sky that way, but towards the sun it is proper overcast. So whether I'm going to get another image this evening or not, I don't know, but I want to go and check out that little spot that I found earlier on in the day to see if there's something intimate and minimalist down there. So let's go and check that place out. Fingers crossed. It'd be nice to finish off with another image, wouldn't it? So there's some interesting colours down here. There's a big boulder down there, looks almost like it's been spray painted orange, but obviously it's not, it's just the minerals depositing from the actual rock itself. But yeah, there's some lovely contours and colours down here, so I think I might see if I can get something set up here to finish off. I'm working against the light though, I really am. So I've been playing around with my compositions down here by this little series of pools. Don't think I've really come away with anything, but it was worth giving it a go. I think my main challenge down here is the lack of light. It's very, very difficult conditions right now, but that's the way it is. Sometimes you get an amazing sunset, don't you? Sometimes it just continues down the overcast path. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please be sure to check out the one that's at the top here, and why not check out my ebook on composition, which is linked over the other side as well. Anyway, I do hope to see you all again next week, and thanks again for watching.